12 minutes for Jean Laurent. We can do it. What you have in stock is this. You have 5 wines. On the left, you have the non-vintage range, and on the right, the Griffe de l'Ours, which is the Tête de Cuvée vintage champagnes. So, grow a champagne. Jean Laurent only makes 6,000 cases, and that's it. It's really the idiosyncrasies of a terroir, whereas big names, big brands are looking for brand consistency. So very different approach and very different terroir. We're going to get to that. The non-vintage range from the left, Blanc de Blanc, Blanc de Noir, and Rosé. The Blanc de Blanc is always Chardonnay. The Blanc de Noir is always 100% monovarietal Pinot Noir, no Pinot Meunier. And the Chardonnay is also Pinot Noir with finished Coteaux Champenois, so finished Pinot Noir added to it. They're aged 30 months on lees, and that's it. Taste profile, the Blanc de Blanc is on freshly baked croissant, very light, crisp, very supremely mineral. The Blanc de Noir is really about power. This is the one that I take out all the time because it's immediately impressive. And the Rosé, because it is added with finished Coteaux Champenois, it really tastes more like a serious wine rather than just bubbly rosé. The vintage on the right, as you can see, comes in that funny shaped bottle there. Only independent growers can use that bottle shape. And also it's called La Griffe de l'Ours. It's a play on the word. La Griffe, griffe means claw. And ours means two things. Ours is the name of the village where Jean Laurent is, but it also means a bear. So it's the claw of the bear with the claw on it. Very clever, that Jean Laurent. The vintage stuff, it's average 40 years for the vine. It's aged 60 months in tanks, 36 months in bottle on corks. And that's a key factor there. Most 99% of champagne are aged on the crown caps, then they're disgorged, dosage is added, and then they're recorked. Whereas this is corked, uncorked, dosage, recorked. Can let you imagine how much work that is. So somebody asked me about the logo the other day, and there are two reasons for it. One is part of Jean Laurent's family is Chinese, and also the family used to own a chapel in town in the 12th century, which was dedicated to Saint Michel, Saint Michael, who is known as the Slayer of Dragons. So when Jean Laurent took over the estate from his father, it seemed like a good logo to add. New this year is the Blanc de Noir comes in half bottles for the first time. So we have 13 cases now. We have a bit more at Alba warehousing. I was talking about scale. Let's talk about scale. This is the office of Jean Laurent. Sorry, this is the offices of Veuve Clicquot in Reims, not the visitor center. But this is the visitor center at Pommery. And this is the cellar at Moët Chandon. If there's a white line in the middle there, it's because they run trains for tourists. This is how big it is. This rest of Champagne. Dom Pérignon, you know, the very exclusive luxurious product that is available in every gas station in France and every duty-free shop. 5 million bottles. Moët and Chandon, that's 30 million bottles. Moët actually buys from over 1,000 growers to make Moët Chandon. And then at the end you have Veuve Clicquot with 20 million bottles. Jean Laurent, 36,000 bottles. That's it. This is how important you are. You sell about 9% of the production. Somebody asked me once, what's the difference between a branded champagne and a gros champagne? It's very simple. A branded champagne, you're financing the first class ticket of some marketing dude on Air France. For Jean Laurent, what you're financing is an extractor or his kid's education. To put it in scale, Veuve Clicquot produced 555 times what Jean produces yearly. I mean, you can't even picture it or frame it. But that's it. The cellar, well, if you stretch both arms, you'll probably touch both sides. So very artisanal production. And as far as geography, well, we all know where it is. It's east of Paris. It touches Belgium, and it's just a stone throw away from Germany and Luxembourg. But one thing that is less known is the two different regions in Champagne. You have the Montagne de Reims, Vallée de la Marne, the Côte de Blanc, and the Côte de Sézanne, which sit in the north. But then you have this region here, and this is where we are. We are in the Côte de Bar. And the Côte de Bar is, as you can see, quite a distance from the north. This is a map that will put it in perspective. So Reims, where all the big names are, and this is where Jean Laurent is. You would have an easier time and a faster time getting to Paris or even to get to Germany than getting to Jean Laurent. This is about an hour and a half. And then something that jumps at you straight away is how close Chablis is. Chablis is only 45 minutes away from Jean Laurent, and we're sitting on exactly the same terroir. Reims to Jean Laurent is an hour and a half, and so that also means that there's a day and a half difference between the picking time between the north and the south. So the south usually have a bit more richness, more ripeness. In the north, this is the terroir. So chalk, which northern Champagne is very famous for. But in the south, this, as I mentioned, is the same terroir as Chablis. It's Kimmeridgian soil, named after the town of Kimmeridge in England, and it's the same terroir as you have in Pouilly, in Sancerre, in Tonnerre, in Chablis, and finally the final outcrop is in the Côte de Bar. So it's marl, and then infused with all this fossilized shellfish, which really gives that crazy minerality of these wines. So this is Jean Laurent, one of the most affable characters that I've ever met in Champagne. His family is one of the oldest growers in the region. They've been there for 1,000 years. And as a bottler, he is now the third generation. The green logo here, this is the HVE3 certification, which is high environmental value at a third level, recognized by the state. The winery is fully solar powered. Jean collects rainwater for all his treatment, and he drives around in his electric car. This is what the region really looks like. If we were in the north in the Montagne de Reims, this would all be vineyards, and you'll have the huge town of Reims in the middle. This is Celles-sur-Ours. This is Grower Champagne Central. You have about 300 people who live in this village. 200 families are independent grow champagne nowadays. And also the difference is, as you can see, you have a wheat field there, you have some forest. This is not a monoculture. It's a different feel. And finally, the pricing. The pricing is very attractive, and I'll give you a comparative in a second. But more importantly, we have lots of stock. The Blanc de Noir, you have 150 cases which you just received. I have 400 cases at Alba. Same thing for the Blanc de Blanc. I have 300 cases back up. And the Griffe de l'Ours, the Blanc de Noir, you've just received a few cases. And the Griffe de l'Ours Blanc de Blanc, I have 08 and 09 available, albeit in smaller quantities. Drapier, sold by Royal, which is next door to Jean Laurent, is $40.83. Best price listed on $7.50. Gaston Chiquet 38, Margate 36. Jean Laurent Blanc de Blanc, best price is $34.99 just on 2 6-packs. So we are very, very, very well priced compared to the competition on a very small number of cases. So that's it. You know, that's the story of Jean Laurent. Good luck out there. I'm going to have all these wines in on the Coravin and we'll be taking them out, including the Tête de Cuvée vintage stuff. So please reach out for me and I will see you out there.